Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're going to be talking about the Halloween update, the rumored I Am Not a Hipster Part 2 update, and all the questions that you guys have for me. So there is a lot of them today, so let's not waste any more time, and let's get it started. Okay, our first question today comes from Holliday, who says, the Vigilante came with Smuggler's Run DLC. Why does it require the MOC for upgrades, which was a part of gun running? So that's a good question, and that's one of those Rockstar logic things that just really doesn't make sense. But I think Rockstar is using the MOC as sort of like a third customization shop, LSC Benny's MOC. And the MOC is where you do all your military sort of things. And because the Vigilante has that weapon upgrade, I guess Rockstar didn't think it was, necessary or made sense for you to upgrade it at something like the Los Santos Custom Shop. Because it has a lot more military hardware on it, it would make more sense if it was upgraded in the Mobile Operations Center. So I'm really not too sure. Is it a huge bummer if you want the Vigilante but you don't have an MOC? Yes, and I think it makes it even more expensive for what it actually is, but that's Rockstar for you. That's kind of their logic. At least there's no research for it. They could have done one more additional research item, but thankfully they didn't. That would have been the biggest slap in the face ever, so I'm glad they did not do that. Our next question comes from Angel, who says, Ross, are we going to have green skies on Tuesday for Halloween? So Angel, I don't think so. He probably just played the new adversary mode or the Inferno transform race and saw the new Halloween weather, or I should say the Halloween weather that was added in 2016. Unfortunately, Rockstar don't utilize a lot of the awesome stuff they add in the game. The green Halloween skies, the city blackout, they have the potential to do some unbelievably cool things on Halloween. And is there a chance because the tunables are updating on Halloween? Yes, maybe there is a chance, but I think it would be incredibly unlikely considering the last two Halloween updates. Rockstar haven't done that sort of thing. They typically don't. They save all their cool stuff for adversary modes and races. I don't know. Maybe they want people to play it instead of just being able to take advantage of it in free mode, but that would be so cool, right? If we had the green skies, the city blackout, if there was like a purge mode, that would be really awesome. But once again, Rockstar rarely take advantage of opportunities like that. Moving on, our next question comes from Titans Blaze, who says, do you think we'll be able to use the weather and props from Inferno Transform Race in our own? I hope so, and I would think so. Why would Rockstar be able to create their own special Halloween race if we aren't able to as well? They probably have all those, settings built into the creator, like what kind of weather you want. Do you want the burning trees? The new transform race they added, if you haven't played it, is incredible. Inferno is so cool. It uses the Halloween weather. There's burning trees. There's burning houses. It's really unique, and it's a lot of fun. So I certainly hope so. Would it surprise me if Rockstar don't allow it and just only have them in their one race have it? No, not at all, because they're Rockstar. But it would be pretty awesome to have that feature for when the talented creators can build their own races. Moving on, our next question comes from Dakota. They say, do you think there will be another Halloween update in 2018? So this is an interesting question because obviously by this time next year, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be out. Rockstar will likely be focusing on that, and there's a good chance they're going to be working on another game, whether that's Bully 2 or the next Grand Theft Auto, so we don't really know if there will be a Halloween update. At a minimum, I think there will be at least a old Halloween get-together, so all the content from 2016, 2017, 2015 will become available. There'll be discounts, bonuses, sales, and more, but as far as them adding a new update into the game with new masks or new clothing or a new vehicle, I see that as unlikely, just because that would be 5 years out, and there's going to be another new game that's already out already. There's a good chance that Rockstar will want to do a Halloween update for Red Dead Redemption 2. So my answer is probably going to be no new content, but likely an old one will still appear. All right, moving on, let's talk about some questions regarding the rumored next update, which, if you guys have been watching my previous videos, is going to be something around the lines of I'm Not a Hipster Part 2, might have some mansions or new properties in there. This first question comes from Peter Pan. He says, how would the mansions work if they add them? If two people have the same one, how would you have people swimming in your pool or something? Now, that's a good question, and I think that they would traditionally work just like what we have with the regular properties in the game right now. For example, we share the same apartments, we share the same stilt homes. The good question you bring up, though, is what about an outdoor area like a swimming pool? And maybe that's why Rockstar didn't add the swimming pools or the outdoor areas in the stilt homes. But I think with mansions, what they could do is they could make the outside world still almost like a virtual inside world, where when you're in your swimming pool in your backyard, you still see the outside world of Los Santos, but maybe no one else sees you, and you only see the people that you give access to. So for example, that would be like blocking people in real life. You wouldn't be able to see the other players in Los Santos unless you gave them access, like inviting them to your mansion. So I honestly don't see that as that big of a deal, because this is something Rockstar does with other properties, mansions, offices. We share them with millions of other players. So I think the mansions, if they do come, would function the exact same way. This next question comes from Matt, and he says, "Hey Ross, how much money do you think the new properties in the December update will cost?" So that all depends on what sort of properties Rockstar add. If it's a traditional business property like we've seen in the past, like a biker clubhouse or a bunker or a hangar, it's going to be in the, low $1 to $4 million range, which is what we've typically seen. However, if it's going to be a new property like a mansion, I think it could be more expensive than the yachts. So if the yachts are $6 to $8 million, I could easily see these big Vinewood Hills mansions to be $10 to $12 million. I mean, that's about the price range of where you would expect something like that to be set, especially if Rockstar knows the community really wants them, and if that's kind of what they're valued at. Now, if they're smaller beach homes or more smaller houses like we looked at in some of my previous updates, I don't typically see them being, that high, $10 to $12 million, maybe a couple million for sure, but I still think they're going to be expensive no matter what they are. Speaking of those mansions, Quinn says, "How many mansions do you think there will be in the next DLC?" So that is, of course, assuming mansions will be in the update. I would say there would be about 10 to 15, and that's just based off of the amount of mansions that have those like foreclosure signs in the front of their yards. Now, Rockstar could completely ignore that. They could just pick and choose random Vinewood mansions, but I would imagine they would want to give players a nice handful, kind of like what there is with the stilt homes and apartments. They do want to spread people out. They don't want everyone to be at one mansion, but still, I think there would be a nice variety and probably around 10 or 15 mansions. Our next question comes from VC, and they say, "If there were to actually be mansions in the next update, do you think that we'll be able to purchase the Playboy Mansion?" So my gut instinct is going to tell me no, just because of how iconic that building is. I would imagine Rockstar wouldn't want people to have like the one mansion that actually is in the game, like the Playboy Mansion. So my gut's telling me no, that they would just skip over that one because it's such an iconic landmark, and they would probably do the ones that have like the foreclosed signs in them. Plus, that one is absolutely massive. Okay, if you're ready to pay $50 million for a mansion, be my guest, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I really do think that it's going to be, the normal mansions and not the Playboy one. Moving on, our next question comes from Gabrielle, who says, "If the mansions come, how many cars can be stored? 10, 20, or maybe more or less?" I would hope that there would be more garage storage than the stilt houses. I mean, think about it. If you're buying a Vinewood mansion, 20 cars or at least more than 10 would be nice. Now, maybe Rockstar would split the difference between one floor of the office garage and a 10-car garage and give us 15, and I'd be totally hyped for that. I mean, that would be awesome. So as long as it's more than the apartments in the stilt houses, I mean, come on, Rockstar, give us at least one new feature of the mansions that actually makes them worthwhile. So I would hope for 15. That's kind of the minimum that I would like to see. Our next question comes from Legend Gamer, and they say, "Do you think the next update will cost up to $80 million? Oh my god, I hope not, but it honestly looks like it's heading in that direction. What was Smuggler's Run? Was it like 70-something million to buy everything? Honestly, I think that could happen, which wouldn't shock me at all. So honestly, get your wallets ready, get your shark cards ready if that's a thing, because yeah, there is a good chance that Rockstar will make this the most expensive update of all time, because who knows, it might be the last big update for online, and Rockstar might want to get like a final hurrah of, money from online. I'm really not too sure. But just the general trend of gun running Smuggler's Run, it's just going up and up and up. So I'd imagine that, yes, the next update will indeed be more expensive. This next question comes from NFLD, who says, "What kind of weapons could we possibly get in the I Am Not a Hipster Part 2 if we get new weapons?" So good question. We haven't gotten new weapons in online in a while. And I think in the Hipster update, we got like the vintage pistol. I'm not sure. What are hipster weapons? I would love to see Rockstar add retro weapons, maybe some stuff from like Vice City or San Andreas, like the katana, flamethrower. That's kind of hipster. That would be pretty cool. I think that would be awesome if they did that, but who knows? Rockstar haven't added weapons in forever, so I'm not maybe sure they will. Maybe they think we have enough weapons in the game. I don't know. Tyler Thomas says, if there is a Hipster DLC Part 2, do you think there's a chance we could get a hipster-based business for us to buy? I certainly hope so. I think the most hipster businesses left in the game, if that is the theme, would certainly be the nightclubs like the Bahama Mamas, Tequila La, Cockatoo, stuff like that. I would love to run the nightclubs. I mean, the Ballad of Gay Tony and Grand Theft Auto 4, one of my favorite DLCs of all time. So I think it would be awesome to, have an update that's centered around running businesses and stuff like that, especially if it was nightclubs and online. That would be so cool. Peptic says, what do you want the next weaponized vehicle to be, and what weapons do you want to have on it? So since we're kind of with the hipster vibe, I would love it if Rockstar added the Deluxo in the game and made it have a Back to the Future DeLorean variant. That would be amazing. So I think a weaponized vehicle that wasn't technically weaponized would be pretty cool in a Deluxo version, Back to the Future DeLorean. That would be pretty cool. That's probably #1 on my wish list right now as far as what vehicles I'd love to see added into the game. But who knows? It's Rockstar. They love weaponized vehicles, so there's probably going to be another rocket-powered one. There's probably going to be one that jumps in the air and has a parachute. Not too sure, but I would imagine that those are the best-selling ones, so Rockstar will probably add some more going forward. All right, and our final question today comes from GS14004, who says, do you think they will finally make Christmas adversary modes or Christmas theme modes this year? So that's a great question, and honestly, I wish Rockstar would do more than that. So they do a really great job with the Halloween update. They have cars and weapons, and they also have the adversary modes, the clothing, and the masks that fit the theme of Halloween. They're scary, they're spooky, but with Christmas, they just neglect that theme and just add random vehicles. Christmas adversary modes would be cool. Christmas themed vehicles would be cool as well. A Christmas weapon. I mean, we have the snowballs, but that's not much. So yeah, that's a great idea, and I really do hope Rockstar does dive a little bit deeper into the winter holiday this year rather than what they've done in previous years. But anyways, those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering in this week's Q&A video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you want to get involved in the next one, all you got to do is go in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use that hashtag AskBoss whenever I'm looking for Q&A questions, and you might find yourself featured in the next one. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.